You've unwrapped all your gifts, but the best gift remains, and that's the Flex Zone Podcast, the final episode of 2022. We recap the year of sports that was. Take a look, preview, give our predictions for the college football playoff. Talk about the Ravens, they're headed to the playoffs. The Commanders, they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth to that final wild card spot as well in the NFC. We got those game ball, not so game balls, and we give out week 17 picks as well. It's that Flex Zone Podcast. You guys know the drill. If you're in the chat, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell as we get ready to go live for the final time in 2022 for the flagship podcast. Flex Zone coming to you live right after this. More exciting than a Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lane's verdict. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place, fellas, giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
What you need right now is the final Flex Zone episode of 2022, fellas. We made it through another year with this here podcast. Episode 373. It is back again. You guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. And, of course, we're going to break it down for you as only we can. Talking year of sports and review. Ravens, Commanders, college football playoff, week 17 picks, game ball, not so game ball as well. As always, don't forget our partner, our sponsor, Fanatics. Get that Fanatics gear. Use the link. It's pinned in the chat. You can link it down below. Vote on the poll. We got a poll up as well. And let us know your thoughts on the Ravens clinching the playoffs. Comment, chime in. Let us know what you think their ceiling is as we get ready for a postseason here in Baltimore. And, of course, at the Flex Zone 1, Twitter and Instagram, Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok, and the FlexZone1 at gmail.com. If you want to be a guest, ideas moving forward into 2023. And, of course, the Cash App, the Flex Zone 1. Can't do this show alone. You guys know I am God's favorite host. Throw your ones up. Acknowledge the head of the sports podcast table. Bad and leadoff. It's our social media producer. He's been doing fantastic this year, making it our best year yet. I got to get his man his flowers. Give it up for Big Raj, everybody. What's going on, Big Raj?
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Big Raj, in the building. Just ready to do the show, ready to talk top 10 sports and recap some of this football that was going on this holiday season. Well, this past weekend anyway.
Next man, he's been keeping it goofy all year because he is the captain of the Goofy ship. And we got something special cooking up for those goofies of 2022, which we'll talk about a little later. He is the Commandalorian himself. He is Cervante Bebe, and I'm sure he was drinking a little crown under the mistletoe.
Good times, brothers. Always a good time, man. Y'all already know how I feel about Mondays. Let's get to it. Let's make this last show one of our best ones, and I can't wait to tease goofies for later on, but we'll get into that as the show goes on.
Next man, he's 365 days a year, much like 2022 was, and he's quicker than a hiccup. The pride of the East Side, Savior Misbehavior, the Flex on my side, the head of the table, the super producer himself, the guy you can start your day with a cup of Dre with each and every day, the phenomenal one, the A-lister, and each and every year he finishes at the top of any list you put out. The professor, the dean of Baltimore Hall University and Mr. Morgan State University. Doing it another year, Dre. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, thank you, brother. Another year, this great show. You know, I'm always excited each and every Monday to do this with you guys, and I'm really excited, especially for today's show.
Hey, let's get to it. We're not going to waste any time. Let us know in the comments your favorite sports moment of 2022. I wanted to go over some moments just that came to mind as I was looking before the show. We obviously had our champions. We had the Rams win the Super Bowl, the Warriors win the NBA title. We had the Houston Astros, led by Dusty Baker, a black manager, finally win a World Series. We had the Colorado Avalanche win the hockey championship, the Stanley Cup. We had Serena retire. We had the scandal in DC, Cravante. We had Vince McMahon. This is probably my biggest moment. Leaving WWE, Triple H taking over Power. So we had Vince McMahon stepping down, retiring, taking over Power. We had the great run of St. Peter's getting to deep run into the college basketball NCAA tournament, getting into the Elite Eight. We had what else? Coach K, Dre, his farewell. It was his last season. Can't forget that. You forget about some of the things these years. The Antonio Brown situation, that was this year, earlier this year. If you don't remember, just something to throw on to. South Carolina basketball. Shout out to South Carolina basketball, women's basketball, getting it done.
Yes.
Dawn Staley doing a hell of a job. Second national title in 5 seasons. Can't forget about the ladies. Of course, we had the Brittany Griner situation. She was arrested early this year. She's now free. She's home, and apparently she wants to still play basketball. We'll see how that goes. Make sure I don't miss anything else as well. We had Miguel Cabrera, Dre, baseball, 3,000 hits. Aaron Judge signs a record contract, ties Roger Maris's, and breaks his home run record for the American League. We had
You had the World Cup.
exciting World Cup finish. Messi finally gets the big one, and Georgia winning the college football playoff, beating Alabama. I could really go on and on and on, and I may be missing a few things as well, but you guys can let me know. Raj, I want to start with you, brother. What was some of the moments or moment that stood out to you this year? I said a lot, but I just wanted to kind of throw some things out there for the people watching who may watch this a little later. Let us know in the comments, but I want to get your opinion.
Well, you missed one, Brittany Griner being abducted into Russia and then being sent back home later on in the year. That was all in 2022.
Oh, he said that. He said that.
Oh, he did. He said that. Okay.
Yeah, he said Brittany.
I completely missed it. My bad. I'm sorry, but
Oh, good.
my biggest moment probably was Vince McMahon stepping down from WWE. That was the highlight of the year. It was well needed. Thank God that he's gone. Hopefully, it was a beautiful thing. Another moment probably was the Golden State Warriors winning the championship. After being down for a couple years, they were struggling, getting beat down, and people thought that run was over. Steph and them boys said, "Nah, we back at it again." So that was another highlight of the year for me. And also, probably I probably would say Triple H taking over as far as WWE as well. I didn't think that was going to come either. I thought that man was as good as gone after what Vince did to him, after what he did to all his talent. I thought that he was going to pretty much play the background role and just let Stephanie do whatever she wanted to do when she got the company. So when he came back, that was an awesome thing as well. But there's a lot, like you said, there's a ton of moments to pick from, and it was just so much that happened in 2022. But yeah, man, it's been a wild one. But I say Golden State, Brittany Griner, going from Russia and then coming back from Russia, and Vince McMahon stepping down was my total highlights as far as sports wise. Now other things that went on this year, there was a lot of other things.
We ain't got time, Raj. We ain't got time, Raj.
I don't time for it. And this probably ain't the show for it. So yeah, those were my sports moments.
Shout out to Miss Queen in the chat. Happy Merry Christmas, belated Merry Christmas, Miss Queen. Mark, Merry Christmas to you as well. Appreciate you.
Mark, what up, man?
We also had the Las Vegas Aces win the WNBA title. Becky Hammond, first former WNBA player to win as a coach, as well as Sue Bird, as she retired as well. Cravante, I'm gonna go to you, brother.
So Becky Hammond is actually up for the Hall of Fame in 2023 as well. And of course, went to Hall of Fame. That's the entire basketball. That's not just the NBA like it is in the NFL. God, my heavens, is so many to choose from. But I got to pick a couple of them as well. The year started off great with Georgia beating Alabama. I'm not even gonna hold you. It started off beautifully with that. Dusty Baker finally getting over the hump, man. The only thing I wish is that he could have won it with us. That was the only thing I wish, but he finally, and by me I mean the Nationals. But he finally got over the hump, and just a long time coming. It ain't that many black brothers in these high positions on sporting teams, and when they win, we need to absolutely celebrate it, because again, it's not many of us. Now, I want to jump to basketball real quick because even though he lost, Ime Udoka, what he did with the Boston Celtics in his first year, amazing, to the championship, and really they gave the Warriors a run for their money too. Now the Warriors ultimately end up being the Warriors, but what he did with that team in the same year, because it didn't start off great. I want to say they had the best record, and it wasn't even close from the All-Star break through the end of the season. Like, their defensive intensity turned up. They was winning a bunch of games, and and then he made that great run through the Eastern Conference and end up being Eastern Conference champions. That was huge, but we're not gonna get into the other aspect of it. Well, I'm sure that's one of the things that Raj was want to speak on, but and that was one of the goofies. That was one of my goofies as well. My gosh, I mean, on a goofier side of the game, my gosh, the Commanders, okay, had the best of times and the worst of times, absolutely. The only thing that would have been better is if he would have won the championship. But it is what it is. Commanders can't stay out of the news. Commanders been in the news all year, literally the entire year. Most of it bad until as of late, when they started actually winning. But it's funny, Daniel Snyder is out of the office, and they start winning. So I think I like it. You go ahead, get back in the court. Go talk to Congress for a couple more weeks so we can try to get into the playoffs. My gosh, yeah, Brittany Griner. I can't believe she was hemmed up all 2022, right? Wasn't she? Pretty much the whole damn year. Yeah, pretty much the whole damn year. Shoot, man. God, just so many. Shout out to also the second place winner in the in football. Joey Badass is on his way back. I'm concerned for what he did with that terrible offensive line and getting all the way to the Super Bowl. And if it wasn't for Aaron Donald, probably would have won it. So yeah, just want to give my the runners up some love. And you hit on a nice amount of Caleb Williams. Even though this was towards the end of the year, shout out, he from the DMV area. Winning the Heisman Trophy, huge, and bringing USC back to relevancy. Relevance. Him along with Lincoln Riley, that's absolutely huge. Like I told y'all before he even went to Oklahoma, I had my eyes on the guy. He went to Gonzaga, absolute phenom in DC, and run it up. He had offers on top of offers, and as soon as I saw that Oklahoma was on his radar, I was like, he's going there, because the reason why is because he has a great chance to win the Heisman. And look what happens his second year with Lincoln Riley. Really, no. Really, this is his first full year with Lincoln Riley, because he came in when Spencer Rattler was playing like trash and came back in that Texas game. And then Spencer Rattler jumped right into that portal and went to South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And Caleb ended up starting the very next year, which is this year. Year one, boom, Heisman Trophy. And he's the bona fide. He's going to be the number one pick in 2024. It's not a doubt in my mind. As long as he stays healthy, he will probably be the number one overall pick. And he has a great shot at winning the Heisman again. Now, I know that's highly unlikely, but he will have an opportunity to do it again. So yeah, that was a couple of things that I thought was pretty eye-opening, pretty amazing.
Go ahead, Dre.
One moment that we did forget about was Deion Sanders. So that was a huge thing for HBCU sports, and then ultimately his departure from Jackson State to Colorado. Um, we mentioned Vince McMahon, but I mean we're going to mention Vince McMahon. I mean we got to mention Sami Zayn, the year that he had in WWE, and then also of course the Tribal Chief and what Roman Reigns and the Bloodline have been able to do, uh, since the pandemic and then carried on. So hats off to them. The WNBA, I got to witness my first WNBA game, which was in Vegas during the WNBA finals. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That was a great experience. I'll admit, that was pretty awesome for real. Of course, Coach K. That was so sad. When that happened. Every year, we're at Shane's for the Super Bowl. So to see the to see the Rams. I think Karante, you were on the Bengals side, so it was funny.
I was.
And then all of y'all, teasing me, and then ultimately when the Rams won, I finally got to say it. The Rams, the Rams, the Rams.
You know what, Dre? You can say it. They actually won 2 out of 3 with Baker. They actually been on fire since Baker is coming.
Yeah. I mean, it was good while it lasted. Of course, Dusty Baker, all of us here, being black, of course, we're going to be happy for our good brother winning the chip, even though, it was for the wrong team. Still, he did his thing. So I'm happy for him. I guess a sports moment that stood out for me, in addition to the WNBA, though, was Aaron Judge, though. That was really an exciting time, not only as a Yankees fan, but also to see a home run chase again. But I don't think we've seen that since we were children. So,
hey Mark, check this out, bro. Hey Mark, check this out, bro.
Hey yo,
he has to relax, yo. He has to. He has to. He ain't right.
That might be comment of the year, by the way.
Yo. This is why we do this thing.
You use an asshole, Mark. I'm gonna let you know that, brother. You use an asshole.
Oh my gosh, bro. This is why we do this.
But look, while his Colts are dying a slow death in front of us, they're dying a slow death. The coach is goofy. He's going to get fired again.
He's Jeff Monday today.
The interim coach isn't even going to be.
His name is Jeff Monday.
we do this live, y'all, for a reason, man. Stuff like that. That's. At first, I thought y'all were talking about the Malika Andrews comment that he made. But
I seen that bullshit on that. Mark, I would never date Malika Andrews, and so you need to stop.
That was another sports moment right there.
That ain't no. Oh yeah, it was a sports moment. You're right.
But that was funny. I was saying though, Aaron Judge. I think that was so exciting to see him chasing the home run record in the AL, and then for him to ultimately get his big contract and then become the 16th captain of the New York Yankees. So that was a very good sports moment. Coach K, whether you loved him or you hated him, they were close. I mean, in the Final Four, I think that was a good sports moment. So, I mean, I think we had a lot of good sports moments, overall this year. And who knows what's going to happen next year. But a lot of this stuff, like the Boston situation, the Brittany Griner situation, Vince McMahon, those things you just can't make up. I mean, those are just some off the wall things that have happened this year. So I'm excited to see what happens for 2023. And I guess another sports moment that we can throw in there this year is that Alabama isn't even in the college football playoff this year. That's shocking because every year we think that Alabama is going to make it, and this year it's not them. It's Michigan, the Ohio State. So we'll see what happens as far as the national champion, but I think we can add that along with the Deion Sanders situation as well.
Yes, we have a video on Dion on the channel if you want to check that out if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you're just coming in the chat, hit the like button. Helps us out tremendously. Last podcast of 2022. We'll be live for other things this week. But 2023, just a little peek behind the curtain. We got LeBron breaking Kareem's record. That is coming up probably in February. You have possibly the return of The Rock to wrestling. I know there are rumors saying he may not be at WrestleMania, but I think he will show up. So we got
He's
that.
being a sore loser because of this Black Adam.
Yeah, he's probably just going to take his ball and go home. But some things to look forward to in 2023 as well. And of course, I think
fingers crossed for that one, man. I would love to see Roman Reigns.
I think maybe the most unpredictable NFL playoffs I can remember in recent memory, because you can make a case for 5 or 6 teams that could win the Super Bowl this year, if not more. And
Word.
It's not Tom Brady and everybody else. I mean, it's really wide open, and we're going to get to a team in the second week cover here. But hey, it's not out the realm that the Ravens might make a run as our segue. But let us know your moment or moments of the year. As we mentioned, Serena retired as well. So we did highlight the ladies, South Carolina, Becky Hammond and the Aces, the Brittany Griner situation. So let us know in the comments your sports moments of the year as well. Let's get to it. Before we get to the Ravens, I want to hit the college football playoff. We got that coming up this coming weekend. New Year's Eve, we have TCU, Michigan, followed by the Ohio State taking on Georgia. I'm already on record. I'm picking the Ohio State to face Michigan in the championship. Cavante, I'm going to go to you first as the resident Ohio State fan. Do they get it done against Georgia? And who do you like in TCU, Michigan? I think we're all kind of feeling Michigan to maybe be, it's always one game that's a blowout. I think TCU, Michigan might be that.
Also, we got news that the college football playoffs was going to expand in 2022.
Oh, yes, right.
So now we kind of talked about it a little bit, but there's going to be a blowout. Usually it's usually the 1-4 matchup, but it might be the 2-3 matchup this year. I think Michigan is in there. It would have to be a complete meltdown. You know how I say when teams get blown out, like they ain't get off the bus, they ain't show up. Listen, the only way for Michigan to lose this game is if they don't show up. This game is not gonna say it's in the bag, but it's in the bag. This I'm calling this as a blowout. This should be a blowout. And Michigan should be in the championship. As for the Ohio State, I'm not as confident. Georgia didn't take many steps back from what they had last year. I mean, they put quite a few guys in the draft in the NFL, and I don't think the team is as stacked, but they are still very much. I mean, it probably wasn't but 2 weeks that they wasn't the number 1 overall team, because when Tennessee was going on that run. I hope they win, and that's honestly, I'm speaking from a fan. I hope they do win, because God damn it, you need payback for that Michigan BS. I lost money on that game too. Like, y'all need to get that back. You know what I'm saying? And get a rematch with Michigan in the championship. But it's just stopping Georgia, that running game, that damn tight end. We're gonna have an opportunity because their quarterback isn't all that great. So that'll be out. We have to take our opportunities there. But Ohio State's defense has not been top tier, has not been stellar all year. As y'all saw when we played Michigan, my God, they gave up at least 4 bombs in that game that I could count. 4 of them, whether it be on the ground or in the air. They gave at least 4 of them. And it, like I said, that's at least. It could have been more, but you look at the highlights, you see 4. You know what I'm saying? So with that type of performance, and that was the last performance, I'm not feeling confident going into the Georgia game. But it is the Ohio State. CJ Stroud, I believe, can rise to the occasion. We got some guys that's preparing for the NFL, so time for them to show up and show out. I don't know what the spread is. I'm going to check it real quick.
I think TCU
But
Michigan is 7. I'm not sure Ohio State Georgia. You can fact check that though.
Ohio State, Georgia, yeah, they favored by a touchdown. And TCU, Michigan's favored by 8.
Touchdown.
So Ohio State's job, just don't let this game get out of hand. If you keep it close, if they keep it close, they will absolutely have an opportunity. But just like the Michigan game, things get out of hand. Ohio State has proven, unfortunately, they remind me of the Green Bay Packers. Great front runners, but when they get punched in the mouth, it's hard for them to counter and respond. So with Ohio State, keep it close. Don't let this game get out of hand. That's your best bet, because if once Georgia starts pouring it on, they're not going to stop, and it'll mess around, and both these games be blowouts. But I'm a ride with Ohio State, and that's completely the fan in me, and yeah, I'm hoping for Ohio State Michigan rematch in the championship.
Go ahead, Dre.
Whew. Brother, I wanna be with you, man, and pick the Ohio State, but I don't know.
Listen,
Georgia,
brother, I understand, brother. I already told you I'm picking as a fan. I'm picking as a fan.
no, but I agree with Byron, because I think that there's holes with Georgia, believe it or not. I know people, keep talking about this powerhouse, but this team does have holes where like they can be beat. I'm gonna say Georgia. I think this will be a closer game than, of course, I think the Michigan game. I think that's going to be the blowout game, honestly. And though it seems like it'll be Michigan and Georgia, but the more exciting matchup would be the Ohio State and Michigan. I think to see that round, it's one of those rare times where you don't mind seeing the matchup, and to see it, especially for that level of stage.
Yep.
I think that would be a great story in of itself, and then to see, can the Ohio State get over the hump, and then also to see if Michigan is for real. Because if they beat, of course, if they beat the Ohio State twice, that would have the ultimate bragging rights.
That would solidify it. Yeah.
So that, I think, is what we would ultimately hope for. I'm gonna pick Michigan and Georgia, with Georgia probably beating Michigan. But as a fan, I would love to see Michigan and the Ohio State one more time.
Go ahead, Raj.
All right, give me the matchups real quick again, Byron.
TCU Michigan and Georgia Ohio State.
We all know TCU get ran through.
Give me Michigan, and give me I guess Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia plays Ohio State.
Yeah, give me Michigan and Georgia for the national championship game. I think Michigan's going to win it all. I think this is Jim Harbaugh's time to actually get a national championship. He really improved last year, making it to being one of the 4 teams. I think he's going to take it all the way this year. But we shall see. Now, I do have one question, because I'm not the biggest college football guy. Is there any wide receivers that we need to look at in any of these teams?
Yes. Well, Ohio State has all of them. Just all the Ohio State.
That's one thing that they do have.
Because you got Marvin Harrison Jr., but I don't think he's coming out this year.
I know that guy. I know that name.
He's not coming
out. You know it very well, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. He's not coming out this year, but you got Jackson Smith and Jabba Cavante. He's coming out this year. He's pretty good.
Yes.
He's a first round pick. I don't know if he will be there when the Ravens pick, because now that the Ravens are in the playoffs, they'll be picking in the 20s again.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a kid on TCU that's getting Julio Jones love, Cavante. Chris. No, hold on. Let me see.
Yep.
Quentin
Johnson.
Quentin Johnson. Is it Quentin Johnson?
Quentin Johnson. Jack. Yeah. Quentin. Yep. That's the first name.
There's Quentin Johnson, TCU, Roger. So they may be getting beat like a drum, but look for Quentin Johnson of TCU. Look for him.
You hear that, Ravens? You need to be looking thoroughly on these 4 teams for your next wide receiver in the draft.
So
Thoroughly.
his name is Quentin Johnston.
You said his name is Quentin Raven. That's his name.
Well, he got Ravens colors on. So he got Ravens colors on. So
He does have on purple.
Look at Mark. Look at Mark in the comments, man.
Marvin needs to come home, baby.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later, but there are some receivers. I mean, you got Hyatt from Tennessee, Addison from USC, Jackson Smith and Jabba, and Quentin Johnson is ranked 1 or 2, depending on who you ask. Like I said, he's getting some Julio Jones comparison just from me not really doing all my research, but he is, Raj, 6'4",
Oh,
15, and he's only 21.
hey, Ravens, you know what to do. Well, maybe you don't, but you need to know what to do.
Maybe you don't.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, up to the point with the Ravens, man. If y'all can just make up a package for somebody to trade, I mean, it would be good. It would be good to get one of these young boys in the draft, but the Ravens haven't shown me too much with their draft, man. Get one of these young boys. I mean, trade. That's what I would do. I would trade.
Bro,
I just said they don't even have
well,
to do that.
we're gonna get to it. We're about to get to it.
Just get Odell a blank check. He'll be healthy next year.
I don't. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, you're fine, right? That's who you'd be looking for, right? I think he wears number 13. Just look for a TCU receiver, if anything. But we'll let you know how he does because I will be watching as well because I would love to see the Ravens try to make a move for him. All right, let's get to it. Ravens beat the Falcons 17-9. If you missed the game, you didn't really miss anything. Me and Raj always say during a post-game show, you don't miss anything with the Ravens games. They're kind of predictable. They're kind of boring. They're kind of lackluster, not exciting. But they're heading to the playoffs. Raj, you want to kind of recap what we talked about on Christmas Eve and how you feel? And the poll is up. Can the Ravens make a deep playoff run? Raj, you actually are pretty optimistic, though.
Like I said before on Saturday, I think they can. But it depends on a couple factors. It depends on Lamar's attitude and if he's healthy enough to get out there and play. I think he can definitely showcase his skills in the postseason. Since everybody says he only has one playoff win, I think he can add maybe one or two more to his resume. Possibly earn a little bit more money from the organization if he plays extremely well, and lead this team to a divisional or AFC championship game. I have a lot of faith in Lamar Jackson. I think he can get it done. I don't think he was the actual problem this year. It's more so the 5 losses were on the defensive end of the field. But yeah, I think this team can go all the way if they really want to. Like I said before, I mean we trashed on them a lot this season because of these losses and the way that they lost. But a lot of the times, like I said before, they had double-digit leads and they were just blowing them away. So if they can figure out how to, not blow them away and get the lead again, and could, get on a hot streak these next 2 to 3 games, they have a real legit, shot of beating a lot of these teams. But the game this weekend, it was your typical Ravens game. The backup quarterback comes in, manages the game, doesn't make too many mistakes. The running game gets going. Greg Roman's calling some stupid plays at times as well, doing what he does best. Sammy Watkins is back. He catches one ball for 40 yards, which is great. Andrews only had like 2 catches for like 33 yards, I think. And Demarcus Robinson, surprise, he's catching the ball again for a touchdown, which was since week 3 since we caught a touchdown pass. Wide receiver wise, but yeah, man, this team, yeah, they're boring, yeah, they're predictable. They've been that way for years, and it's the same Greg Roman system. But we do know one thing that they do very well, and is they play defense, and they run the football. So, like they said before, you need to run the football in these times of the month, especially in January and in February. You need to run the football heavily because of the weather. And they do that very, very well. Let's just see who steps up at the wide receiver position. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully Lamar is healthy and we can make a run. But yeah, there's a lot of things that's going on for the Ravens this season, man. So a lot of things are riding on this playoff push. I'm praying that we can at least win one game in the playoffs, maybe one. But yeah, man, I'm optimistic though. I'm very optimistic. I've been a little bit down because of all the news about Lamar Jackson and the contract situations and a bunch of other things that's been going on with the organization. But well, media wise, they've been getting killed because of the lack of talent that we have. But I think that they can actually overturn a lot of this stuff. And hopefully going into the off season, please listen to the fan base. There's a lot of trolls out there that want to see Lamar gone, but there's a lot of people like myself and the people on this panel that want to see him stay in Baltimore. So I'm praying that they actually get it right, give him the money that he so deserves, or at least partly, they get there, they can come to a negotiation, and then we can build this thing the right way. Because I would hate to start over again. I mean, just making the playoffs is a beautiful thing. All right, that is a beautiful thing in itself. I missed it last year. I'm so glad we made it this year. And like I said before, I think they can make a run, or at least win a couple games. But we shall see.
And for selfish reasons, Raj, that means at least one more week of Baltimore Ravens post game on the Flex Zone Podcast YouTube channel. So there'll be
Exactly.
bonus
Content.
episodes, more content. And they do have the franchise tag, which I think will be used for Lamar. That's just my opinion, but we'll talk about that this off season. Endless content coming your way. Dre, how you feeling, brother? I know you're always with rolling with your hometown team. You're the dean, the professor, ball so hard. I said in the post game, if they can avoid Buffalo, Kansas City, they can beat probably any other team. And the Chargers are red hot too.
Well, shout out to our good friend Engraven, who helped us this year. Another sports moment helped the Flex Zone podcast get to 1,000. So, gentlemen, shout out to y'all. I remember Engraven saying that they can't franchise Lamar Jackson, and if the Ravens today were to make the playoffs, they would be facing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Thanks, Mark.
Which I think that Baltimore can beat Jacksonville. Honestly, they can, if this team, what they've shown us, even in the 5 losses, with Lamar Jackson and no weapons outside of Mark Andrews, they have been able to, and with Justin Tucker, of course, they have been able to really make a be competitive with every team. They lost to, of course, the Dolphins. They've lost to the Bills. They've lost to the Jaguars, and these have been all games that have been winnable games. So if the Ravens go back to the playoffs, I think that they can make a deep run. I've been saying all year, and I'm gonna still stand by it. They can at least make it to the AFC Championship game. Of course, I would love to see them in the Super Bowl, but at least to the AFC Championship game, I believe that this team can do it. Of course, that Lamar Jackson and that contract has just been hovering over his head. I think that they can come to an agreement. I would hate to see them franchise them because you don't want the whole Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins situation all over again. But they need to come to some sort of an agreement and get him some help at the wide receiver position. Do what other teams have done, whether it's through the draft, and then also I think in addition to the draft, Raj, I think that they need to go out and make a big trade.
I agree with you.
I think that they need to show not only Lamar Jackson, but like you said, the media attention that this team has had. It was one thing for them to be questioned about Lamar Jackson and his contract, but now this team is, like you said, they've been getting crucified just for not getting this man any help. I mean, everybody's like, "Geez, can you at least get this man some help?"
I mean, if you notice, well, I'm pretty sure you noticed, but I put a couple shorts up. Stephen A. Smith saying, maybe he should move on from the Ravens. Yeah. Bart Scott, a former Baltimore Raven, saying, maybe he should move. I mean, there's a lot of people that are saying maybe he should move on. And I don't agree with that. I just think that the organization themselves is being stubborn. They're stuck in their ways. But hopefully, I'm praying this off season they figure out, some growth. Greg Roman is gone. John Harbaugh gets out of his own way and starts listening to his players. Because I don't know what else you got to do when you have your, Tyus Bowser on Instagram, filming, little papers on the ground that says fire Greg Roman. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. And it's the silly things. It's the little goofy stuff that's going on.
The silly things.
Yeah, it's the silly things.
Lamar going back and forth with people on Twitter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so uncalled for. He's going back and forth with the fans. The fans is like,
He's not himself. He doesn't look like himself on the sideline. He's pouting. He's fussing.
Right.
He's cussing people out.
Exactly.
He's not happy or smiling.
Not happy or smiling. Like 3 years ago when he won the MVP, that's all he was doing was smiling and cheesing and had them sunglasses on.
He's pressing.
Yeah, he's pressing, man. And yeah, I can't wait till this the whole thing is over with.
Yeah, they gotta get that cloud and distraction, and it is so on Raven like to have a distraction of this magnitude hang over their heads. Like I said, they need to make well, hopefully they can get a huge push in the playoffs. But this off season, they need to focus on getting Lamar a contract and getting him some help at the wide receiver position. They already got Andrews locked in. Let's go ahead and get these wide receivers, and hopefully we can make a huge playoff push. At least, like I said, at least to the AFC Championship game. It would be great if this team could win the Super Bowl. This team is talented enough to win the Super Bowl this year because, like I said, they've hung in there with a team like the Buffalo Bills. They've hung in there with a team like the Jaguars, and they should have won that game. They should have beaten the Dolphins, and they've already beaten the Bengals. I know that some people said that might have been the Bengals early, and if the Ravens do face the Bengals, look, they've already clinched their playoff berth. So right now the Ravens are just. I think the Ravens honestly would be fine, even if they lost their next two games. I think in the next two games they're going to go 1-1. I think they'll beat Pittsburgh. I'm going to say that early, and I think they'll lose to the Bengals early. It depends also though on how the seeding is locked. If the seeding is locked in a certain way, then they may be able to win those last two games. And it's kind of sucks because you hate for Mike Tomlin to have a losing record. I'm just saying that not only I know he's a Steelers, but as a black head coach, you just don't want to see that streak happen. But nevertheless, though,
at least his job is secure. At least he won't get fired.
Yeah.
No, he ain't going. He shouldn't get fired.
But they do need to. I know he's won an MVP. Lamar's won an MVP under Greg Roman, but they need a different offensive scheme in there because he can throw the football, and he's shown people that yes, help if we can expand things offensively, stop being stubborn. That this team can really make some noise. So I'm curious to see what they do, and hopefully Lamar does come back for the playoffs.
Real quick, I said this on the post game show to Roger, and I'll let you chime in before I get to Commanders as well. If I'm Steve Bisciotti, if I'm Eric DeCosta, if I'm John Harbaugh, you guys haven't talked about it all season, but it's hanging over your head. Before you guys go to the playoffs, I'm locking myself in a room with Lamar. We're sitting down. We're talking like men. We're going to say, look, we know we haven't gotten you the contract or the help you deserve, but we're in the playoffs. You go win us a Super Bowl, we'll pay you whatever you want. We did it with Joe Flacco. We'll do it with you. You go win us a Super Bowl or make that deep playoff run, we'll give you whatever you want, and you'll be a happy man. Simple as that. Don't avoid it. It's the elephant in the room. They gotta talk about it at some point. It's going on the link.
I agree. It's like you said. I mean, like you said, he's just not the same Lamar from the past. And if your quarterback isn't right, then it affects the whole team.
You got to get his mother in there with him, his boys, whomever his support system is, because he doesn't have an agent.
Not his goons.
His
goons being there like this.
And I would say this, man. I'm like, if you just go out there, you be the Lamar Jackson that we know and love. even if you don't win the Super Bowl, we still would love to have you. You got to baby him. You got to coddle him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Rub his back, kiss up to him, suck up, do something. I mean, you take him behind closed doors, feed him a nice steak dinner, from Jimmy Seafood or whatever. Give him a couple Burger King coupons from and Chick-fil-A. You know that Chick-fil-A is but you know what I'm saying, guys. You just gotta rub it down, baby. Come on.
Hey, yo, are y'all trying to get Lamar Jackson or y'all trying to get me? Which one is it?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, hey, look, Chick-fil-A get anybody. I don't care if you vegan. Chick-fil-A will still get
you said coupons.
That's Dre. That's when you have a cheat day and you detox the next day.
Exactly, bro.
But yes, I think they need to all sit down like men, talk about the elephant in the room, get Greg Roman ass in there too. Hey, look, we got the most electrifying quarterback. We're running the football ever. Let this man do something creative with his legs. Don't have him just stand back there like a statue all the time, man. Use your creativity, man. Feed Greg Roman all the burgers he needs, right?
No. He don't need no damn burgers. That's the problem now. That's why we get delayed.
That's the problem now.
He got
Look. You know what the funny thing is? Man? When they show him, he got the little water in the picture screen, but on the other side of it, you don't see it on camera. There's a damn cheeseburger, French fries, and all kinds of things that's on camera.
What are you trying to say? He got the itis during the game?
It looks like it half the damn time. You gotta call timeouts to stop the delay of games. You at home. Come on, man. Stop it.
But they need to really sit down, man. They locked up the playoff berth. Take these next 3 weeks and really get the house in order and get on the same page because, like Dre said, Rod said, Cravante, I think you would agree. I even said it. This is a wide open field, man. Anybody can beat anybody. We know that in the NFL already. But this year especially, and like you said, Dre, they haven't got blown out this year. All their losses have been within one score or so. So they haven't got blown out, even with no offensive weapons at the wide receiver position. This is crazy to think about. Cravante, you got anything to chime in real quick before we get to your team?
I think franchising Lamar Jackson would be the worst thing the Ravens could do.
I agree. Please don't.
At that point, you might as well have him walk because you know who's going to get paid by the time next year roll around? Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Justin Herbert, probably pay him early.
And Lamar Jackson from somebody else.
And Lamar, and it'll end up being Lamar Jackson from somewhere else. Because listen, the longer you hold on, whatever stubborn attitude y'all in, the more expensive he's gonna be. Because the worst thing you could do, that's what happens. The Deshaun Watson thing popped up. You should have been signed Lamar. You waited for something goofy to happen, and now it's up. And it's up and it's stuck now because he ain't coming off of it. So that's why it's always better, in my opinion, to wrap. If you feel like that's your guy, that's your franchise guy, you wrap him up at the earliest possible convenience.
Kyler Murray.
Patrick Mahomes wasn't even close to his contract, and they had a whole year in between. Nah, bro. 10 years, bro. We need 10. It wasn't in a 5 years. We need 10.
I mean,
Josh Allen.
Things we could think of.
Wrap it up. Wrap that mess up. ASAP early.
Look, and I'll give y'all another name that's going to get locked up soon. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Ooh, snap. Because this was a proven year. Because this was a proven year for him. And he's playing like an MVP.
Hurts is only a second-round pick. He only has a 4-year deal, not a fifth, like these first-round guys, Herbert and Burrow. So he probably will have to get paid this season because this is year 3. They don't want to take him into his final year. And if he goes where Philly might go, Super Bowl, he's probably going to get paid as well. We know Howie Roseman pays people.
Yeah, he's not going to allow him to leave.
No,
you better not.
You can't.
You better not.
So I don't get me wrong. I like Steve. I like Steve Bisciotti as an owner. I'm glad he doesn't meddle in the affairs. But I think this is one where you got to be like, look, I understand you don't want to give him a fully guaranteed contract. I understand that. I get it. And I wish you wouldn't have said that out loud in front of everybody. I wish you would have kept that to yourself. But you might have to budge on that, brother, or at least or at least put a little bit more change in the collection plate when it comes to your quarterback, who's led you to the playoffs 4 out of 5 times that he's been here. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Listen, man.
another
Hope that
thing.
Well,
though,
it
I
should have
think
been
that
all 5 times if he didn't get hurt last year.
I about to say it would have been 5 if he didn't get hurt. I think that they, like you said, they just need to legit talk it out, and then, like you said, either you guarantee at least 80% of it, and then the other percent put in incentives. It depends on how. That's why it's negotiations. You can work the stuff out, but it's just a matter of, do the Ravens want to really work it out? Because nobody in Baltimore wants to see him gone. And then we've never had a quarterback that caliber here in Baltimore. Like, we just fell into Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson's ain't walking through that building. I mean, I can go through the list of quarterbacks before we get to you, Cravante, for the Washington Commanders. I mean, we've had quarterbacks like Gerbag, Steve McNair at the end of his career. We've
Kyle
had
Bowles, Trent Dilfer,
Joe
Chris Redman.
Flacco. I mean, Joe Flacco won us a Super Bowl, but
I love Joe. Joe was
we
phenomenal.
weren't, but a lot of us weren't even sold on Joe. So it was
I
just
was.
kind of like,
I was sold on Joe.
so
First time I seen him, I ain't gonna hold you. The first time I saw him, that first game of the season against the Cincinnati Bengals, I was like, "Oh, we got something right here. We got
Tony
something."
Banks, Chris Redman,
Yeah.
Anthony Wright,
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
right.
and honestly,
Cordell Stewart.
before Lamar, Joe was that guy. But then
Vinny
even Joe
Testaverde.
started. But Joe started. Ooh, you took it back. But Joe,
Jim Harbaugh.
But Joe was towards that tail end, and then Lamar came in. I mean, you can't make that up, because if it wasn't for Lamar, man, this org, man, we'd be
Ravens
in
be
some
at the
high
top
water.
of the draft for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, without Lamar, let Lamar Jackson walk out that door and see where the Ravens are. You can be nice on offense. I'm sorry. You can be nice on defense, be decent on special teams, but if you can in today's NFL, if you don't have that quarterback, man, we've seen so many franchises that are decent, and if they just don't have the quarterback position locked up, you ain't going nowhere.
Ain't that right, Mark?
What's cap, Mark? What's cap, brother?
He said you. I guess you believe in Joe.
No. I'm serious. That wasn't cap at all. I'm being that serious.
Biggest fan.
I was sold.
No. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Cravante, you ready to go talk Commanders?
Come on, man. Come on.
37-20 loss, holding on to the last wild card spot by the skin of their teeth. And don't look now, but Rodgers' good friend Duck Dodger, my good buddy, Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers are on their tail.
Not as your good buddy. Oh boy.
How you feeling, brother? Are they going to be able to hold on to the last wild card spot?
It's tough. The best part of this is that we not going to tie with nobody, except for the Giants, because we got that tie on our record. So there's no tiebreakers. The only reason why we're still here is because of that tie. Everybody behind us has 8 losses, and we're 7-7-1. So that's our lone saving grace right now. But we still hold. We're in charge of our own destiny. We're in control of our own destiny. So we win these last 2 games, and we're in. We lose one, and it's gonna start getting a little shaky. I think we missed 2 huge opportunities with both Giants games. But so now we got to pay for it, because now, unfortunately, Byron, they can't get the 10 wins now. But last 2 games, we got the Browns and we got the Cowboys. Depending on how things work out with the Eagles, the Cowboys game may not be much for the Cowboys. I'm not sure, but it's gonna mean everything to us, because we need to win regardless to get into the playoffs. The Browns just got eliminated, so I'm not sure how strong they're gonna finish that season. So Obviously, not an easy win. They are coming to FedEx Field, but not. I'm not calling that nothing. It's not going to be an easy win. We still want to fight, but it will only be right for us to win, to beat the Browns, and then go into that last game with everything on the line. That's how the NFC East works. It's always at least two of us who go down to whatever the last week is, and it's determined somebody's gonna make the playoffs and somebody not. But in this case, if we win, hey, we both make the playoffs. But there's a lot of it's a hate relationship with the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. So they would love nothing more than to boot us out of the playoffs. And also, they also get to add, on a side note, they get to add their loss to the Eagles record as well. So the only two people that can beat the Eagles is the folks in their division. Chase Young's back. He looked great, looked amazing. He had the highest grade about any defender, but he got the freshest legs, so he should be. He's making plays all over the field, but unfortunately, the 49ers are just a far superior team. So I knew we were going to lose that game, which was why the two Giants games were so important. But I'm not optimistic because now Carson Wentz is back in the mix. I was told before the oh wow. I was told before well not that I was told. I heard beforehand that if Taylor Heineke was going to struggle, he would get benched in the 49ers game. I was like, well, goddamn, that's a bad game to go off of because 49ers defense is fucking amazing. Like, why would that be the game, the end all be all? So I was like, we might see Carson Wentz. I'm saying in the back of my mind, we might see Carson Wentz this game because the 49ers got the best defense in the league, for real. And sure enough, the half, I mean, it was 7-7 at halftime. I was like, okay, all right, it ain't terrible. But then they took off, and that was that. Then we saw Carson Wentz, and I'm like, oh well, the season's all but over now, is what I'm feeling. And now Ron Rivera's talking about he's undecided going into the year. I mean, going into next week. I'm like, oh. So, needless to say, I'm not optimistic about making the playoffs. The best, like I said, their saving grace is the tie, and that they still hold their own destiny. They control their destiny. That's the best I can say. Love Jahad Dawson. Love Terry McLaurin. Offensive line is falling apart. Great timing, right? So yeah, it's not looking great over here. If I'm a bet man, I'm gonna say we probably don't make it, but it is what it is. At this point, I'm just looking for a new owner.
Who's your next two games against?
Browns and Cowboys.
Okay, all right.
And we need both of them.
Yeah, you do. You get the Browns game, but Cowboys one.
It depends.
Hold up. Is it the last game of the season?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all might be able to get that. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because if Eagles win one more game, they lock up the division and first place.
Right.
So the Cowboys may not need like that. That'd be our best bet, is us to beat the Browns and the Eagles win next week as well. Because then the Cowboys, it won't mean nothing to be. I mean, unless it's the NFC East thing, they might still try to be petty and boot us out. Because I ain't gonna lie, I would do it. So it is what it. That's an NFC East thing. That's a divisional thing. That's like brothers thing. You know what I'm saying? If I get a chance to stick it to my brother, I will. But yeah, so we definitely need both of them. If we go 1-1, we're gonna need some help. Because the Lions are right there, and it's another team that's the Seahawks. The Seahawks and the Lions are just waiting.
Yeah, waiting for y'all to screw up.
Waiting for us to screw up, right? But I'm excited. Also, we have 4 Pro Bowlers on the Commanders, so that's also a good thing.
Yeah, we'll be keeping our eyes out to see if the Commanders join the Ravens in the playoff field of 14 teams now. So A lot of teams get opportunity at the Lombardi Trophy, and we shall see what happens. 2 more weeks left in the season. Let's get our game ball, not so game ball. You can join us with the game ball, not so game ball in the comments, standout, and bird of the week. And hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're just joining us, hit the like button, vote on the poll. If you're new, subscribe. Let us know your sports moment of the year and let us know your thoughts on the Ravens, Commanders, anything from week 16 or anything else you want to talk about as well. But go ahead, Raj. I'll start with you with game ball, not so game ball.
All right, my game ball. Um, now this is a funny one because he was getting crucified yesterday. But my game ball goes to Tom Brady, and I know he's not the same person that he's been in the past. I know that he's older, and I know that his arm is starting to look a little wane at times. And he threw a couple bad interceptions yesterday. I grant it, and he was getting slid all over the place in our text messaging group. Dre and and Gravante. So you by a certain person named D. But either way, he got the job done when it counted, like he always does. He finds ways to win. And yeah, his team's not as good as it usually is in the past, but they're going to make the playoffs, even though they're in a terrible division. And he made a couple nice throws in the overtime to make sure they got the victory. So for the last time ever, I'm going to give my game ball to Tom Brady because I think after this one, I think he will be done with his career. But shout out to Tom Brady for winning that game yesterday, even though he caused some of that havoc himself. My not so game ball, it has to go to the New York Jets, man. And they were so terrible on Thursday. Oh my God. And I said this at the beginning of the season. I said, you know what? If they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to need that franchise quarterback that they drafted number 2 overall, Zach Wilson, to step up and step in and be that guy that everybody thought he was coming out of college. Now, I didn't think he was going to be nice coming out of college. I didn't even know who the hell he was. I mean, I know who Trevor Lawrence was. I know who Justin Fields was. I know who those two guys were. But I was like, why are they picking this guy? And now they're saying the same thing 2 years later. Why the hell did we pick this brother? He cannot play. We got to get him the hell up out of here. He is trash. Like I've been saying, he's garbage. All right. But you know what, Jets fans? You do have another quarterback that's going to come back and play very soon by the name of White Mike. And you know what? I'm going to say this here, and I'm going to say this right now, man. If they win the next 2 games, and they do have a good shot of winning the next 2 games, they might make the playoffs. They might backdoor their way in. Because I'm hearing that, Tua is back in concussion protocol.
Oh,
and we already know what that and they on a 4-game losing streak, and they play them at the end of the year, the last game of the season.
That ain't good.
So and I think the Jets also play the Seahawks, so that might help you out as well, Cravante, and especially with White Mike coming back. So the Jets might be a playoff team. Look out for that. But for today, they are my not so game ball because they stunk the joint out. It was ugly, and I got a good laugh out of it. I'm not even gonna lie to
you. Go ahead, Dre. I know Q was crying in the car.
He was crying.
Oh, he had to be. I'm gonna do like my good brother. Start low, end high. My not so game ball goes to this weather because there ain't no way in hell that them Ravens tickets should have been $5.
Yo, it was so bad everywhere, yo. It was so many. It was so many games where it was in the team.
Trying to give the tickets away, by the way.
Boy, you better not came near me. You better not came near me. We the fought. We the fought. You try to come near me.
Like. All right. So I know it's late, but I gotta put this out there. So this weekend I had an offer to go to the Ravens game, and me and my good brother, we always have these discussions about when are we gonna stop attending football games. I think so. November is our cutoff, so of course it's December. But sometimes I'll make an exception. Sometimes I will make an exception for the weather, like I did last year for the Rams game last year. I told Raj, I was like, that game last year wasn't bad. in December.
No.
But this,
No, it wasn't.
this year, the tickets were it was $5, ladies and gentlemen, to go to a game this year. That's how they, like Byron said, they literally were giving away the tickets. But it was so cold that was like the lowest attending game in the history of the Baltimore Ravens. Nobody wanted to be out there. So I got to give this weather the not so game ball for that, because it was too damn cold.
It's not like you had much to cheer for, Dre. So you would have got hypothermia from sitting on the because it was so cold.
So I mean, I don't care how much Long Johns, Under Armour, whatever you put on that when cold is cold.
Hand warmers.
Nah, ain't no way in hell. Ain't enough crown in the world. Honey Jack, whatever. Ain't that thing ain't getting warm.
And see, and when you say these things, it made me question, why the hell did you go to that Carolina game? I'm like, that was almost, it wasn't as cold as this game was, but still, it was freezing outside. Freezing.
That Carolina game, it was cold, but it was manageable cold. Like that. No, you're right. It was cold.
No, it was cold as hell. It wasn't
cold
at all. It was. I went out there for like
crazy.
5 seconds.
They good and crazy. They good and crazy.
To Buffalo Wild Wings. I said,
hell.
no.
So my choices were, I could have either went to that game. I could have went to the Falcons game, or I could go to the Steelers game. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
No, Steelers.
I'm boycotting until they put a better product on the field, much like I did with Monday Night Raw. I'm boycotting them.
My game ball, you know what? Oddly enough, I think I'm a. You know what? For like Raj, I think for the last time this year, I'm gonna say. I'm just, you know what? I was getting ready to give it to Dallas, but I'm not. Instead, I'm gonna give it to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh,
I
thought for sure he's gonna give it to the Rams. I thought for sure that Rams was coming.
I thought the Rams gonna give it to Aaron Rodgers. That's what I thought he was about to give it to.
He was on the list too. But you know what? Nah, forget it, Karate. You're right. The Rams.
You can't hold that one, baby. They waxed them. They waxed them, boys. I was like, you better give it to them. They waxed them, yo.
It was so bad that when I got to my brother's house yesterday, and I was like, man, turn this off, man. I was like, you already know the end result. Go to the NBA. I was like, at least this gonna be a better product.
That wasn't any better. People got waxed. People was getting destroyed in the NBA this
best game.
It was bad over there too. It was bad over there too.
It was really bad.
By the time I went over there, that was the best game, Roger. I think the
Lakers and Mavericks,
Boston and the Bucks was probably the best one.
No, it wasn't. The last game was the best game because they went.
All right, so the one that went overtime. They went overtime.
When everybody look, by that time I had the itis for us, so I couldn't even.
You was out like
yeah, I was out of it. But that Rams game, they ought to be ashamed of themselves for putting that product on them.
They got Nathaniel Hackett fired, Dre. They got Nathaniel Hackett fired from them.
He should have got fired after that.
He should have been fired weeks ago. He should have. But you're right.
He said weeks to go.
No, that's one of them games.
Weeks.
At least
to go.
You know what? They were nice. They
go. You understand?
They didn't fire him on Christmas Day. They said, you know what? We're going to wait till the day after.
If I was Russell Wilson, I would have been out for the rest of the season. Why did he even come back for that? Why? Just to play on Christmas and embarrass yourself even more?
Big facts.
Yeah, right. And the sad part is we don't know who's more washed, the damn coach or the quarterback. And they're stuck with that contract for years.
Yeah, they stuck.
There ain't no getting out of that contract. Stuck.
They wanted to cook with Russ, and he's cooking a lot of garbage out there. A lot of garbage.
Russ ain't cooking a damn thing no more.
That's so his kitchen cold. That stove don't even turn on.
Hopefully next year they can get together, and hopefully he's not cooked. But damn, this year This brother, he should have got my not so game ball too. He should have got an honorary not so game ball because that's a horrible performance they put up.
People were trolling, talking about Sierra's the new head coach of the Broncos.
Oh gosh, they gonna lose again. They gonna lose some more.
She's been named new head coach of the Broncos. Sierra.
Let me see you 1-2 step out the playoff.
That's how he dropped back.
Hey.
1-2 step. That's how he dropped back. Roger, go away, yo.
How you doing?
That's flat out embarrassing, man. I'm embarrassed.
Hey.
Oh, start low and high, Cravante, baby.
All I can think of, hike, 1-2 step.
Yeah, they were having
his ass is getting on the floor, all right, when he gets sacked.
They was having a career day with him, bro. They was that dude get sacked by everybody.
Banquet Popeyes, top tier, yo, Mark. Those that know, they know. Okay, yes. Start low and high. Honestly, it's gotta go to the Vegas Raiders, man. It has to go to the Raiders. How the hell you was up the whole game? You was up the whole game and gave that thing up right at the end. Right at the end. And I was like, well, goddamn, the little bit of playoff hopes y'all had just vanished. Just vanished. Like, whatever backdoor mathematical way y'all possibly could have gone. Just gone. But I thought even that y'all were a better team. And y'all was up for 3 3/4 and gave that thing up at the end. I said, well, goddamn. And Josh McDaniels, he's not gonna lose his job, even though he probably he should be the next one. Him and Cliff Kingsbury is probably the last two they need to go.
Oh, you know what? Cliff may not go.
No, so Drake. Funny thing is, I'm hearing he might leave himself.
Wow.
Like it's that bad. It is that bad in that locker room. Like it's rumors that he may leave like himself. He may go ahead and resign.
I've had enough of y'all.
But it's him and Kyler Murray. The relationship is not great, and it's clear. So Cliff Kingsbury may end up. Don't be surprised. He may end up walking away.
Wow.
So there's that. Game ball. Man, this guy is balling. He's been balling all year. Justin Jefferson. My heavens. Woo! My heavens. Justin Jefferson is a goddamn dog. He might be the best receiver this year, y'all. It's probably him. He probably the best receiver this year. And he's on par. He just broke Randy Moss's single season record for the Vikings. And he's on his way. He's only about 200 yards away from breaking Calvin Johnson's record. And even I think he's like 270 away from 2,000 yards receiving. So,
and you know what? He could get that in one game.
He could. He absolutely could. Justin Jefferson, and he could split it in two. He could have 100. He get 125 and then 125 again. Like that's not absurd to even think about. Like he could absolutely get that. And matter of fact, I'm hoping he does. He is the bona fide offensive player of the year. Like the award is his, and he has a case for MVP, but he's probably not gonna get it because that's my guy, probably Patrick Mahomes award. But
you know what the funny thing is? You know what the funny thing is, Gravante?
What's that?
I have him and I have Tyreek Hill on the same team in fantasy.
Wow. Lucky.
Terrible, yo. My heavens. But yeah, Justin Jefferson's been playing outside of his mind, and he's all world right now. All world right now at wide receiver. Like, I think he's the best wide receiver in the league, yo, right now. And that's not even far-fetched to say. Then, my man Jamar Chase is in Cincinnati. He had a little injury bug, so he missed a couple games. And we got my man Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the same damn team in Miami. They're all outstanding wide receivers. And of course, Devontae, even though he's probably being buried because the team is so bad, Devontae Adams is still there. Listen, I saw. Speaking of fantasy, Roger, I saw DeAndre Hopkins only had about 4 fantasy points yesterday, and
I
I was
mean,
like,
he had McSorley as a quarterback.
yeah, it's just, but it's really really unfortunate. But Justin Jefferson gets my game ball, and yeah, he has a great shot. I think he should probably run away with the Offensive Player of the Year award.
Oh yeah, he should.
And I know we
And it's really really not even close. And shout out to, even though I think the Vikings are frauds, honorary mention Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach for the Vikings.
Yeah.
My heavens, what a first year for him. So he should get some coaching of the year votes for his turnaround of the Vikings.
Yeah, I know we don't believe in the Vikings. Some of us. They are 11-0 in one-score games this season. Only team in NFL history to ever do that. So,
And last year they were, I think they only went in half of those. I think they had just as many one-score games, but they lost half of them.
Yeah, and then it was funny because the Raiders were in the same conversation where the Raiders were winning these games. Now they're losing these close games.
You
and that's why I
see,
said,
just that little bit.
Well, wow, and Byron, I know we're past the segment, but I forgot about the Tua situation this year too. That was something that happened in sports with the
It's
concussion
happening again
protocol.
right now.
The
and
concussion
he's back
protocol.
in it again, and he probably won't play this week. And the Vikings season, the Dolphins season, they probably will miss the playoffs because of that.
Right, and they in there too. They in there too. But
And actually, probably
yeah,
could have been one of the teams you make a case for with the receivers, to make a run as well. But we shall see. Like I said, it would not surprise me if the Vikings get to the conference championship. And hey, we'll see what happens there. Let's
we'll
get to week
see.
7.
We'll see. The great thing for the Vikings is that they won't have to play the Eagles and the 49ers. It's either or. They only have to play one.
And they'll be most likely
If they stay in that 2 seed. If they stay in that 2 seed, they
and
won't
they'll
have to
be
play
at home
both.
for the first 2 games, which they play great at home.
Yep.
Inside. Let's get to the week 17 picks before we get out of here. Thursday, Cowboys and Titans. Titans have lost 5 in a row. That's a not so game ball. The Titans have lost 5 in a row. Lost to the Texans. So, Cowboys Titans on Thursday night.
I'm picking them boys. We them boys is going to win.
We
The
them
game.
boys.
And they probably gonna cover that wild ass spread too. It's at 9.5. It's at 10. 9.5, 10 in some books.
Yeah,
All right, we all agree.
well, you already said it last week. The Titans is not making the playoffs. Jacksonville's going.
I want to give that game ball to with Dre Rogers. I forgot which one of y'all said that craziness that is about to
But
work out.
That was Byron. That was Byron that said that.
Byron. Oh, that was Byron. Yeah.
And Dre before the season was big on the Jaguars too. And I was looking at the schedule and I said they probably gonna win the division. So
Big ups, bro. Because my heavens, you sound crazy. 4 months ago.
We sounded crazy, but it just felt.
But there it goes.
When you get a good head coach in there.
You can thank the Ravens for setting it off as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Also.
They may have to go down there again, which
and the Raiders do not play well in Florida.
No, we don't.
Nope. And they can score points, and the Ravens can't. But I'll get to that later. Cardinals, Falcons. Oh gosh. We all
Jesus.
Falcons on that.
I'm gonna say the Falcons.
Ugly.
It's so listen, it's the Falcons, the Steelers, and I want to say the New Orleans Saints. That no matter what I do, they do the opposite, bro. So I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm gonna say the Falcons, but they're so bad. Either team, man. Both teams are.
I guess the Falcons. I mean, because the Cardinals look terrible, and Kyler Murray ain't coming back. So, I mean, I guess it got to be the Falcons.
I guess I picked the Falcons as well. You on mute, Byron?
Oh, my apologies. Yes, I'm going with the Falcons as well. Dolphins, Patriots. I'm going Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots as well.
Yeah, Patriots.
Yeah, especially if 2 out. Yeah.
Saints, Eagles. I'm going Eagles. I think they win.
Eagles
Yeah.
need this to go and lock up the 1 seed. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna go Eagles.
I'm going Eagles too.
Colts, Giants. Ew, Giants. Get an easy one.
Yikes. Giants.
Giants.
Oh yeah, Giants.
Unfortunately for you, Cravante. Panthers,
And
Buccaneers.
it's so sad because the Colts started out looking like they might be able to do
They got
something.
Matt Ryan, bro.
They
Oh
don't
no,
have
oh no,
quarterback.
Byron, I'm good. They already beat us, so they got it. I ain't even worried about trying to catch the Giants.
Panthers, Buccaneers for first place in the NFC South.
Bucks.
Josh
I'm going
Norman.
with the Panthers, yo. I'm going with the Panthers. Going with the Panthers. Please, everybody take the Bucks. Leave me alone. I'm going with the Panthers.
We'll let you have that, brother. I'm taking
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
I'm talking with Thomas, man. Thomas.
Okay, I got the
I'm not even
Panthers.
picking the
Cool.
Buccaneers. I'm just picking Tom Brady. I don't even care.
Going with the Panthers. I will. Yeah.
Broncos, Chiefs. Don't even need to talk about that.
Chiefs.
Everybody knows.
Moving on.
Bears, Lions. We don't have to talk about that.
Lions.
Well, that is a
Browns.
divisional game, but the Lions
It
are
is.
at home. So
I'm gonna say the Lions.
I like the Lions at home.
Win for them.
I also like them because they play much better at home too.
Yeah, they do.
Browns, Commanders. Yeah, we all going Lions, Dre. Browns, Commanders. Are we all going Commanders?
I'm going Commanders.
I'm
I
going
think Commanders.
must win, needed, and the Browns just got eliminated. So yeah, I'm going with the Commanders. Still got something to fight for.
Jaguars, Texans. Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Also a divisional game. Texans play tough. The Texans just beat the Tennessee Titans this past week. So the NFC South they usually play each other tough, but I am going to lean Jaguars because I think they're going to win it. I agree. I agree with y'all, even though it took me 3.5 months. I agree. I think they're going to win Division 2.
Hey, put some money on the Texans to cover though. Cavante might be a little.
Yes, the Texans have been doing that the best this year. I think them and the Falcons have been doing that, like covering the ATS the best this year.
49ers, Raiders.
49ers.
Get these Raiders the freak up out of here.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm gonna say the 49ers, man.
49ers, agreed. Jets, Seahawks, making some separation here.
Ooh,
I'm going with the Jets. I'm going with Mike White or White Mike.
Damn it, Raj. Damn it. I was hoping Raj would not do that.
Well, Seattle's still trying to get into the playoffs, so I may.
They both are. They both are.
They both are. Yeah, they both are.
Pretty much.
Man, I got to go opposite of Raj again, so I'm gonna go Seahawks. Even though I did want to go with the Jets originally, but I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
I'm gonna say the Seahawks too.
Give me Seahawks.
So everybody except Raj, Seahawks.
Yep.
Yeah, the Jets have burned me too many times this year. Vikings, Packers. I'm going Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Packers too.
They can't.
At this
point,
y'all know where the last 2 games are for the Packers. They're in Lambeau.
The last few games.
I'm going back.
I'm gonna say the Packers have to get one. Wait, everybody going Vikings?
No, we're going Packers.
I'm going Packers.
Oh, damn. Okay. Shoot.
I think the Packers sneak in actually, and they're the team you don't want to see in the first round, and it could be Minnesota. Cavante.
Right.
You think they're taking what? They're taking Washington spot?
They could.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a great shot, and so must win. All right, Packers. I'm going Packers too.
Yeah, I think the
God,
Packers.
I want to switch that so bad, but
the Packers have the Vikings and the Lions both in Lambeau, so very favorable.
Two playoff teams.
Yeah, they could take the Detroit spot and get the Vikings. Rams, Chargers just clinched the playoff berth first time since 2018. Chargers
go. Even though they have a goofy head coach.
Yeah. Steelers,
yes,
Ravens.
they do, and he gonna keep his job. God dog.
Steelers, Ravens in prime time.
I'm tempted to say the Steelers because Mike Tomlin, so that way he won't have that losing record. But I'm gonna say the Ravens.
It don't matter what I do. Y'all should just do the opposite, yo. Because whatever I ask the Steelers to do, they do the opposite. It's in Baltimore. Steelers have some luck, I guess, somewhat in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be who's the quarterback for the Ravens?
I don't know.
It's you this week.
It's me. Oh shit, going to Steelers, then, baby. I'm going to Steelers because I ain't showing up. It's cold. I ain't going.
It's
supposed to be like
Um,
50, man.
It's supposed to warm up this week, though. We're getting
It's supposed to be
unseasonably
like
warm
50.
temperatures.
Oh shit!
Who's your-
I might show up. I might show up for that one.
Global warming.
Sheesh.
It's gonna be raining.
What y'all doing? What y'all doing?
I pick the Ravens every week almost, sadly, but
I mean, it's
Same
not
here.
sad. He only lost 5 games.
no, I'm just saying
Nah,
it's like
nah.
I just look like a homer, but I
Yeah,
really think they could have double-digit wins right now. Or well, they have double-digit wins, but they could
yeah,
have
you have
two
double
losses.
digit.
They can have 2 losses.
they said they have double-digit wins.
No, but they honestly, when you break it down, I mean, the Giants game, the Jags game, the Bills game, the Dolphins game,
All
and
of
there's
them.
some other team I'm
Browns
missing.
game.
You said what other game was it?
Browns
Browns.
game.
Well, the Browns game, I figured that's the one game when it's like, okay, it was a divisional game, and then the team was hurt. All the other teams, they've been like, yo, they showing up.
I'm picking the Ravens.
Yeah,
I'm picking the Ravens to win.
I'll go Steelers.
Okay, all right.
Monday actually has a good game, thank God. Bills Bengals.
I'm going Bills to win.
Going
go
with
with-
Joey, badass. That's what I'm going. Macaulay Culkin. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with him.
Man. Okay, so I don't want neither one of these teams to win, but if the Bengals lose, it
helps
makes
the
an interesting matchup for the following week.
Because if they lose, that means we can lose, and that we still be fight for the division. So go Bills.
I'm
Go
going
Bills.
Bills. I'm going Bills. I think the Bengals have been on fire. I think they lose a game before the playoffs. Give me the Bills.
I think. And now it's up to me. I'm gonna say the Bengals. I'm gonna go with Carranta and the Bengals.
But if the Bengals do win, they'll have control of the 1 seed potentially if they could win out.
Yeah,
Because they beat Kansas City, then they would have the hit
and
topper
they
over
beat
Kansas
Buffalo.
City.
Yep.
Shoot,
Oh, wow.
but they're gonna need Kansas City to lose too.
Yeah. So
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Do they have the same record?
I
I think the Chiefs got 12. I think the Chiefs got 12.
Chiefs are
12-3,
hold on.
right?
Yeah, Chiefs got.
Yeah,
12.
they got one. They got one up. Yep.
Okay. Well,
He's got one up.
They're
They're not losing. They probably get the one Chiefs.
They may hope the Chiefs slip up. We could see. But let us
I
know.
would say now, yeah, that would give the Chiefs the number 1 overall seed.
Oh boy, if it's got to go through Kansas City again. I know I said it was a little unpredictable, but
we've never been through Kansas City. That's the problem. We never
But
made
you
it.
know what? You know what?
Right.
I'm telling you, if that happens, that would be perfect storm because yes, he beat them before, but if he beats Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, bro, I'm telling you,
Who?
Lamar.
It would feel to me.
Oh.
It would feel to me like how the year when the Ravens, when they finally beat Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos in Denver.
But they never smacked us around in the playoffs, though.
yeah,
I mean, I
get
what you're saying.
We've only lost to them in the regular season.
Yeah, we
But
just
I
got
mean-
smacked around, right? We never lost them in the playoffs. It'd be
Yeah,
different.
that's true.
And
But
they only
still,
blew us out
he still
once.
had that curse on him. So
They blew us out during the COVID year or the COVID year.
Well, that was annihilation.
But every other game besides that has been close. So we'll
Right, everything's been close. I'm not afraid of Kansas City.
We'll
Not
see.
at all.
Nah, I'm gonna say that defense, my heavens.
Defense.
They could be had. That's the only thing that scares me about because I think Patrick Mahomes, like I've been saying pretty much all year, I felt like Patrick Mahomes was the MVP and he's actually gonna get it, but he got some help because Jalen Hurts got hurt. No pun intended.
He got hurt.
But no pun intended. But I think I was never off the Chiefs bandwagon whatsoever. Even when all the changes started happening in the West, I was like Chiefs, and I did not come off of it, and they end up winning it pretty much by Thanksgiving.
Let us know your picks. Week 17, the penultimate week before the playoffs begin, and we move towards the Super Bowl. Cravante, you want to let the people know what's coming up sometime this week? We'll figure that out. But it's been a lot of goofiness in 2022, and each and every week you've filled us in what you thought was goofy. Let the people know what you're working on for the channel this coming week.
So yeah, this coming week, and gosh, my clock just said Tuesday. I'm like, it's Tuesday, but it's after 12 o'clock.
Yes.
So at some point this week, before the new year strikes, I want to get together with the guys, and I'm gonna tell y'all who I thought or what I thought was goofy for the entire year. I have three potentials right now. It could change, but I know for sure two of them will not change. One of them may change. The three that I sent you guys earlier. Two of them for sure. I don't know what order, but two of them for sure will be on there, and one may change. Who knows? But I'm gonna do a top three goofies of the entire year. Probably, I don't know. I'm thinking like a Wednesday, Thursday, guys. I'm not sure how y'all feel about it, but that's the day I'm pretty much trying to shoot for.
Thursday.
But yeah, I'm
Thursday
doing
would be cool.
Thursday. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably lock that in, and then we'll have it up probably by Friday, and Friday is the 30th, I believe. So we'll have that up by the end of the week. So yeah, Goofies of the Year coming up. I have my top three, and of course, if you guys can join me, y'all could chime in with y'all. What else y'all thought was goofy for the year? Anything I might have missed?
Okay.
Oh,
Because I'm only doing three, so yeah, I missed a lot. I'm gonna miss a lot.
and by the way, also moments that happened. Rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Oh man,
one.
The great Bill Russell.
And the Steelers running back.
Franco
Harris. Yes.
Thank you for that, Raj. Appreciate that. Like I said, so many moments. Some highs, some lows, but definitely rest in peace to those we lost this year in the sports world as well. And also, Dre, baseball, Albert Pujols hit 700 home runs. As well.
Oh, snap. Oh, Ovechkin. Second all time in goals.
Yep.
Second all time because he has, I think he's at 802 now, so he's officially second all time.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Drizzy Dre, what can people expect from the Flex Zone, and how can we start today with a cup of Dre?
Hey, you can catch me on WEAA, but 2023, let me make this announcement right now. We got our great friend Ralph, who is joining the show. So either he's going to join the week of the Royal Rumble or the week of the Super Bowl, but that's coming. As well as Gabe Ortiz from Two Way Talk in WEAA. He wants to join the Flex Zone too. So we got that. And then, of course, we got our Sports and Blackness series coming up as well.
And of course, Engraven will probably be back after the season to recap what happens, to see where we're at with the Ravens. More guests, more people every Monday night. You know where to catch us here. And how can they start the day with a cup of Dre again, Dre?
WEAA, I'm on 7 to 10 in the morning. So catch me there too.
Yes. Last but not least, social media producer, the man who makes these streams pristine, Big Raj. Let the people know what they need to do and what's coming up this week. Last week of 2022 was a little slow for content, but we're pushing it out.
Well, like I said, we got AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays. That's Devontae's Goofies of the Year on Thursday. Probably SmackDown live stream. John Cena.
Oh yes.
On Friday.
A great matchup.
A lot of stuff coming this week. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that hit that bell for notifications. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you watch all our videos. Check out some of our shorts as well. A lot of content in general. So there you go.
Appreciate everybody who's tuned in this year to any of our videos, any of our content. Flex Zone family, you've made this the best year in the podcast history. So we want to thank you for joining us, watching, commenting, voting on the polls, if you've donated, anything you've done, even if you left a comment. Too many people to name, but appreciate each and every one of you, all of our guests, anybody who's joined us. Definitely appreciate it because you didn't have to do it. Engraven, amongst others, people like that who have really helped the channel grow, and people who have joined us on the live streams and they have really taken off, and the videos and content we put out. So appreciate everybody. Just want to thank everybody, and more is coming in 2023 and more this week as well. And let us know what else we need to do as we continue to try to take the podcast and the brand to the next level. as well. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, let us know, and what you look forward to seeing in 2023. Next week, we will be recapping week 17 and looking forward to the college football championship game and maybe some NBA. We shall see what happens with that. But a lot of content still coming your way. Live streams, videos, got Goofy City here with Cavante coming up. That's always fun. So just stay tuned to the channel. We're going to get it out for you. Only place, fellas, give me sports how you want it.
When you
When
need
you
it.
need it.
Flex on one on
Oh, yeah.
cash. Go ahead,
Oh,
Cavante.
yo, and Dre was talking about it a little bit earlier, but a great moment for us was hitting 1,000 while we was on live. Like that was top tier. With when the Graven was on, getting it live, and in living color, man. We even got posts saying, "Hey, I'm the 1,000." You know what I'm saying? And y'all got it. And I was like, wow, that's huge, a huge step forward to where we're trying to go. So big up to us on our moment of 2022.
Agreed. Can't say it better myself. Approaching what, Raj? Almost 1,300 now. So slowly climbing up the ranks.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah. Well, we close somewhat.
Yeah. Check out the shorts. Appreciate Big Raj for those. Definitely helping out the channel. And next Sunday, even though it will be a late one, we'll be here for the post-game show to kick off 2022 as they did flex the Ravens game. But thankfully, the second is still a holiday for your boys, so I'll be able to be up with the late crew during the post game and Ravens preview coming sometime this week as well. So just hit the bell, subscribe, like, you guys know the drill. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. FlexOn1@gmail.com, FlexOn Podcast on TikTok, FlexOn1 Twitter, Instagram, Cash App to FlexOn1. Again, fellas, only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you
When
need
you
it.
need it.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. Let us be the first to wish you Happy New Year. If we don't talk to you before then, we'll see you in 2023. But of course, before then, with all the videos and content as well. And for the last time on 2022 the Flex On Podcast, for Cavante, for Dre, and Big Raj, God's favorite host, signing out. Still America's Most Wanted Podcast. Throw your ones up and acknowledge us. And until next year, y'all, for the Flex On Podcast, we out of here. Peace. We gone.
See y'all 2023.